Hello, guys, and welcome to the next tropical update for this evening. It is May 20th, 2020, and it is currently 9:31 p.m. in the evening. And, well, things are getting rather interesting rather quickly because not only do we have two areas of interest, but we also have two invest areas. This red one is invest 90L, or yeah, 90L, and this one in the Gulf is 91L. But we're going to go over this one first because it's obviously has higher formation chances. A non-tropical low-pressure area located about 625 miles northeast of Bermuda is forecast to strengthen into a storm-force low pressure system tonight. On Friday, the low is expected to turn west-southwestward over warm waters and will likely become a subtropical cyclone near and to the northeast of Bermuda. After that time, the low is forecast to move northward and northeastward into more hostile environments by Saturday night or Sunday. The chances for this to develop is 80% in 48 hours and 80%, which is down from 90%, which it doesn't really matter anyways because the formation is very likely now. The formations in 5 days is 80%. Okay, so here's Invest 91L, and this has a 20% development in both the 48 and 5 day time frames. It's a disorganized area of cloudiness and thunderstorms over the western Gulf of Mexico is associated with a surface trough of low pressure. Conditions are expected to be marginally conducive for some development over the next day or so before the disturbance moves inland over the northwestern Gulf Coast late Friday or Friday night. Regardless of development, the system could produce heavy rainfall over portions of southeastern Texas and southwestern Louisiana on Friday and through the weekend. That is the big key there. Flooding issues are going to happen in Texas and Louisiana regardless of what happens with the system. As I said, it's a 2020 shot for both the 2 day and the 5 day going forward. Okay, so here's 90L, and we're looking at the particulars here. It's located 34.4 north, 53.7 west. Maximum sustained winds are at 40 knots. But there are some indications that this may be already at 50 knots. So, because this is AT&Z, this came out at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So obviously it's not updated yet. But there are some reliable sources that say that this is most likely at a 50 knot system right now, which is 60 miles an hour. That's insane. Minimal central pressure is 1,011 millibars. Environmental pressure is 1,017 millibars. Radius of circulation 150 nautical miles. Radius of maximum wind 90 nautical miles. So, as you can see, we're going to take a look at this here. Invest 90L, GEFS, tracks in minimal MSLP. As you can see, starting period here is 10 millibars and 1007 millibars and 1005 millibars here. This is the average of all the spaghetti plots here. They do forecast this to become a subtropical storm as we go out through maybe tonight and going into the morning. Actually, I do think that by the time 5 a.m. rolls around, I think we will have a subtropical storm on our hands. And if that does happen, it will be subtropical storm Anna. But we'll worry about that when the time comes. All right, so we're gonna take a look at the model guidance. As you can see, this is 0C, so this is accurate for what it is right now. And as you can see, it's at 50 knots, which is a 60 mile per hour system. Some of the models do go up from here, and then you take a look at the AVNI, it's almost at a category 1, which I doubt that's going to happen at all. So we can probably just, not pay attention to that. Most models have this peaking out at around 12 hours or so. All right, let's take a look at the GFS here. And as you can see, we're at 1,007 millibars here. So we're going to go 24, 1,005. This is definitely a subtropical storm at this point. 48 hours. It's starting to get a little broad, starting to lose its tightness. 72 hours is practically gone. So 3 days time is all this storm really has to really, do something with itself. As time is going to start running out, it's going to get into much colder, SSTs, and all of your, other forces of nature that might mess with the system as we get out through the next 72 hours. So there's no point going past 72 hours here because GFS doesn't have it anymore after that. Okay, here is the European here. As you can see, it's 1,011 millibars here. There's 1,010, so it's kind of doing all right. 1,010, and then there's 72 hours. There's no pressure number there, and it's pretty much the GFS where it's gone between 72 and 96 hours. So there are some interest in Bermuda as they do have tropical storm watches up right now for this potential subtropical storm that could be forming here in the next 12 to 18 hours. So people in Bermuda, pay attention. You're going to probably have strong gusty winds. Probably not too bad, but you're going to get some pretty good gusts. You're going to see very heavy rain. You might see flooding, and that's about the gist of it as we go forward. Okay, so let's take a look at the NOAA Nasda sea surface temperatures here, and they're just saying this hasn't updated yet. This is still of the 19th, and where the system is now, it's dealing with 22 and 23 degrees Celsius waters. So, and when you're dealing with subtropical systems, you don't really need 26 degrees Celsius waters. That's the magic number for regular tropical cyclones, sure. But when you're dealing with subtropical cyclones, you're dealing with a whole another set of rules with development here. These subtropical cyclones usually come off of dead, dying fronts, so there's that. It's too much to explain in this video. But there are some different rules to subtropical systems than there are normal tropical systems. But as you can see here, it has the conducive water anomalies to deal with a subtropical cyclone. And there are some hints that this may go over the Gulf Stream a time or two in its lifetime. So we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with that. Okay, here is Invest 91L, and as you can see from the channel 13 Go 16 here, it's not looking too bright right now. This is because of the demon that we're going through right now. I do expect that the convection could fire up again as we head towards DMAX overnight, but we're gonna have to really keep an eye on that. This may be one of those scenarios where this thing might come quick and fast. So anybody that's living in Texas and Louisiana needs to really pay attention to this, because whether of development or not, it's going to cause flooding in some areas of Texas and Louisiana. Okay, let's take a look at the peculiars here. It's located 24.3 north, 93.7 west. Maximum sustained winds are at 20 knots, which is 25 miles an hour. There's no gust. Minimal central pressure is 10 millibars. Environmental pressure is 10-12 millibars. Radius of circulation is 150 nautical miles. Radius of maximum wind is 40 nautical miles. We're going to take a look at the GEFS tracking minimal MSLP, and as you can see, it doesn't really do much with it. It stays between 1,010 and 1,005 millibars, which that may be enough for a tropical depression or maybe even a slight low-end tropical storm. But we're going to have to see, what it does overnight. It doesn't have more than this one DMAX cycle to really work with. It also depends on if there's any forces out there that might slow this down a little bit as we go through time, but who knows? This system may have 24 hours, that's at the least, and if it goes a little bit slower, it has 24 hours at the most, or 48 hours at the most, excuse me. So there's that. All right, so here's intensity guidance. This is initiated at 0C. As you can see, it's 20 knots. And these are statistical models, so we're going to go over them anyways. Two of them don't even make it up to the tropical storm status. One takes it up to tropical storm. Two make it up to tropical storm, but, you know, excuse me. These are statistical models, so these are not very reliable, but it's something to look at. It's something to look at. Besides, it don't even have this long over water anyway, so you probably cut some of this down to like 48 hours here, and it still doesn't make it up to tropical storm status. Okay, so here is a GFS for 18Z, and we're going to go out through time. As you can see, there is a slight circle here that's trying to pop up here. What is the wind shear like here? 51 knots. That is not favorable whatsoever. All right, 18 hours. We got another small circle popping up here. We're going to see what happens with that. Still not very good. 31 knots, and then it pretty much dissipates thereafter. So this may have up to 24 to 48 hours, like I said, depending on how fast it feels like going and, all the other forces that pull this, northward. Okay, so here is the European. This is initialized at 12Z. And as you can see, 24 hours in, you see a 1008 millibar low pressure system. That could be a tropical depression or a low end tropical storm. We're just gonna have to see. The last time I looked at some of the ensemble members for the European, they had a 90% chance of tropical depression formation and a 30% chance of a tropical storm formation. So, it's going to be an interesting 24 to 36 hours to see what happens with this. And as we go into 48 hours, you can see this is that little blimp right here. This is what was left of NFS 91L. So it's pretty much out of the picture after that. So we don't have to look any further than that. All right, so here's the Noaa Nasda sea surface temperatures for the Gulf of Mexico. And as you can see right now, it's probably on the borderline of 27 and 26 degrees Celsius waters here. So the water temperatures are no problem for right now. But as we head out through tomorrow afternoon, it's going to start hitting these 25-degree waters, which is not very conducive whatsoever for development. So either way, if it makes landfall in 24 or 48 hours, it's really going to only have 12 to 18 hours of fairly favorable water temperatures. That's not including the wind shear that's happening out there right now. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you find this video informative. I try my best for you guys to help save your guys' lives or give you guys the latest information as accurately as I can. Anyways, I will be back again tomorrow morning with another update of these two. And thank you guys for watching, and have a nice night.